Welcome to Simply Bitcoin, the channel that breaks down all the daily Bitcoin news from the meme reviews, daily fails, and the software releases. We've got it all. Drop us a like and subscribe. Here we go with the numbers, guys.
Block booty dashboard.
We're starting with a block height of 656,357. Current Bitcoin price, 15,380. Chain rewrite days, 659. And the total Lightning capacity right now sits at 1,034.16 BTC. Yeah.
Awesome. Looking
steady.
Holding steady. So bullish. Phil, it's time for
the daily fail. All right, here we go. We are going to just...
Bitcoins, Bitcoin is not a currency. It's maybe a partial store of value because unlike what I call shit coins, it cannot be so easily debased because there is at least an algorithm that decides how much the supply of Bitcoin raises over time. Because for most of those other ones, literally is done ad hoc and they're being debased faster than what the Fed is doing. Bitcoin.
Okay, so hold on. All right, so we've got that, but then, so we've got this today. Bitcoin is not a currency. Once again, it's not a unit of account. It's not a single numeraire. It is not a scalable means of payments. It's not backed by any asset. It's not a legal tender. The price is highly manipulated. So, I mean, look, so yesterday he's calling it a partial store of value. Okay, for the people that don't know anything about Nouriel Roubini, he's an economist that has had some just absolutely horrendous calls in reference to Bitcoin specifically, among other things, you know, but specifically, he has been dead wrong about Bitcoin the entire time, okay? And he persists to use this faulty narrative of comparing Bitcoin to Visa and MasterCard, okay? Visa and MasterCard are payment networks. They are not final settlement. It's not the same thing. And this is an economist. That should scare you. Scares me. Anyways.
Scares the crap out of me, dude.
He's just the fail. The fail is Nouriel.
The fail. I like that. And yeah, you're absolutely right, Phil. And you know, like, there's two things that I saw to that, right? First of all, he admitted Bitcoin wasn't a shit coin. That's awesome, right? And the second part is like, God damn, he's starting to get it. He's getting orange pilled whether he likes it or not.
He hates it. And he's like, you could see the partial store of values. It cringed to pull that out of him. You know, like, it's so funny. It's so funny to watch these guys cringe. And it's great, right? We're sitting at like 15K and change. And of course, this guy comes out of the woodwork.
Yeah, dude, it's glorious. It's glorious. We'll just leave it at that.
Coming out of the woodwork to remind people that Bitcoin bad and printable garbage money good.
Oh my God. Yeah. This is a good fail.
Yeah.
Phil, it's time for
the daily meme review. I like the pictures.
Look, man, I look, this is a piece of art. Again, it's brought to us by our homies at 21ism. They are featured on Citadel 21. They're awesome. And look, it's the Satoshi Bitcoin monster attacking the establishment. The art is obviously open to interpretation. So, Phil, what's your interpretation of this? It's a toughie, right?
I'm sorry. I'm like thinking about it here. So it's like my interpretation. I definitely see, you know, the quote unquote Bitcoin monster, but at the same time, we're also looking at the Guy Fawkes mask and what does Guy Fawkes represent? You know, he represents
everyone.
A little bit. I'm sorry?
Everyone.
Bingo. He represents everyone, and he represents everyone's aspirations, particularly to personal freedom. So, yeah, man, I like it.
Oh, damn, I love art. Everyone has their own, you know, angle of it. It's so cool. So, Phil, I absolutely loved it. I loved art, man. Everyone has a different interpretation of it. I thought it was so well done. I don't know whether the original image whether it was all original, but man, I'm gonna give it a good score. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Very nice. All right, we are along the same lines. I'm going with a 9.5.
Awesome. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to the next one. All right, man. There's a lot to unpack here.
Whoa!
It's a big one. So it's not backed by anything. Man, this is a lot. This is a lot to take in. But dude, this is a meme. This is a meme. This is a meme. The other one was art. This is a meme.
Yeah.
All right, Phil. I'm ready to give it a score.
Yeah.
Man, I'm not even gonna erase the last one. Also gonna give it a 9 as well.
Really? Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna be going. I'm gonna be going with you on this one. I'm giving it a 9 as well.
Okay. Good scores. Good scores. And the final meme for today is gonna be. Oh, dude, this is an amazing meme. This is an amazing meme, dude. That's a perfect 10 from me.
Perfect 10 for me.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that last meme was genius. That
Genius.
chess prodigy player, and while all the governments are trying to scheme and come up with all these ideas to outsmart Bitcoin, and Bitcoin just honey badger doesn't care.
And not only that, right? But if we look at the symbolism, what is it? The people on the opposite side of the board are the old establishment, while the incoming, right? The incoming young noob Bitcoin is coming here and schooling them on how to play the game.
Absolutely.
So,
it's a perfect meme.
Excellent.
It's literally a perfect meme. It's
Yep,
exactly right. It's time for
The Daily News, sponsored by Crypto Cloaks.
all right. So for news for today, Phil, look, I don't know if you guys know what's going on in Nigeria. There's a bunch of protests going on, and it looks like the Nigerian court ruled that the central bank can block protest accounts. This made quite a bit of a splash on Twitter. And Phil, I mean, what else? This is kind of self-explanatory. Use Bitcoin. You know what gives courts or anybody the right to refuse your human dignity, which is money, man? Like, why is that, right? You know, and I think Bitcoin is perfect for this. Whether you're right or wrong, it's kind of like freedom of speech. Everyone deserves to talk, right? And everyone deserves an access to money, and that's what we believe as Bitcoiners. So what are your thoughts on this, Phil?
These censorship exercises that we're seeing from these governments, this is, number one, it's scary, but number two, it's teaching everybody a valuable lesson in personal responsibility, which is something that our current society and culture, I find, kind of like, we don't place enough importance on it, and we all accept all these quote unquote trusted third parties. Well, guess what? If you didn't have these trusted third parties, the Nigerian government wouldn't be able to do this to its people, right?
Exactly.
So anyways, I just, yep, this is, they're teaching us all a lesson about censorship and censorship resistant currency.
Absolutely. And it's literally free marketing for Bitcoin. So
It's totally free marketing for Bitcoin. It's like, sure, how do I get out of this? Well, it's really easy to get out of this.
Exactly. And let's move on to our next piece of news. And Phil, honestly, when I saw this, I honestly felt I told you so. So basically, crypto lending platform I Have Cred, obviously they don't have cred, has filed for bankruptcy 2 weeks after an announcement suspending fund inflows and outflows. Bankruptcy filings now report 50 to 100 million in estimated assets versus 100 to 500 million in liabilities. So what is this, guys? And let me move on to our buddies, and I say buddies completely sarcastically, our buddies at BlockFi. And why am I talking about this? BlockFi had the gall to release an article that says an introduction to the rehypothecation of cryptocurrency. They give 5 BS reasons. I'm going to read them out so we can laugh about them later. Securities rehypothecation generally lowers the cost for consumer access to products. Rehypothecation promotes market liquidity and price discovery by enabling market participants to express a multitude of views. With Bitcoin, settlement isn't instant, but we do have a settlement layer that is much faster when compared to traditional markets. Rehypothecation was not responsible for the financial crisis. Our goal as an industry is to effectively compete with the traditional financial system. Okay, so let me criticize the last one. Okay,
Oh my God.
that's exactly what Unchained Capital is doing, and the reason that they're doing is that they're leveraging the power of Multi-Sig to still give out loans to everybody, right? And at the same time, they're not commingling your funds with everybody else, because this fund that went bankrupt, essentially what they did is that they lent out more money than they had of assets. And that only happens when you rehypothecate everything. Essentially, when you commingle all the funds that you're receiving as loans. And you look at BlockFi's solution, right, which is they're just commingling all the funds, you're at risk for them just going belly up, and they're not paying you anything back because they just spent all your money. And there's other solutions to this. That isn't the only solution. If you look at Unchained Capital, and I keep mentioning them, they use the power of Multi-Sig. So if you get a loan from Unchained Capital, essentially you keep one of the keys, they keep one of the keys, and then an auditing firm, right, which its reputation means everything to them, has another key. So Unchained Capital couldn't even spend your Bitcoin without the terms of the agreement being broken, right? So there's different solutions to this. I don't agree with BlockFi at all. And the excuses that they're trying to use to justify their reasons, man, they're bullshit. It's bullshit, Phil.
It is. I honestly believe they're doing it to just steal people's to essentially steal people's Bitcoin. So just quickly, because not everybody I think knows it, but rehypothecation is a practice whereby banks and brokers use for their own purposes the assets that have been posted as collateral by their clients. Okay, so these reasons that they try to give you why rehypothecation is okay is completely absurd, because at the end of the day, what you entrusted this institution with to hold, they are not holding. And you have, when your asset falls under rehypothecation, you have no recourse in that at that point. It's out there. Like it's the same old, adage, not your keys, not your coin. And in this particular case, like they can do whatever they want. They can lend it for any stupid investing activity that they want, right? This is, anyways. Yeah,
Infuriating.
I think it's just a scam. It really is. And of course, they're going to validate their own ends, right? Because why do they want to do that, right? Because this whole thing about the price discovery, right? And, it's going to lower fees. So they're essentially preying on they're preying on people's greed and their cheapness, okay? But really all that's happening is they are reaping the majority of that benefit at your expense.
And it's been proven, right, with the power of Multi-Sig, you don't have to do it that way. You don't have to do it that way. They're doing it that way, first of all, because they make a lot more money, right? Yep. And it's easier. But why are you taking the old system where centralization was a necessary evil and trying it to commingle it with the new system that centralization is absolutely not necessary, right? And they're trying to justify it. So we do not approve of BlockFi at all. It's Simply Bitcoin. It's a ticking time bomb, right? They suck. True that. And Phil, there's a software release today.
Software releases. Okay, so big one actually. Fully noted version 0.2.1 was released, and they've got some major UX improvements. And we've got the link to that down in the show notes.
Awesome. Thank you, Phil. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Simply Bitcoin. If you like the show, give it a like. If you love the show, give it a subscribe. And of course, we'll see you tomorrow for more Simply Bitcoin and no shitcoins.